Um, I've been checking, and to end jam, it's a full action, at least in the book.
Just do it as I said, but a half
Okay,
action.
okay. Yeah, half reload, half shooting the jammed enforcer.
Okay. Alright, so that's a hit. He tries to dodge. He fails. Let's roll damage. And 1d10 extra. So 18 damage, no pen. Where'd you hit him? You hit him in the 61 as a body, I think. Yeah. Okay, so his armor on the body is. That's toughness. So you do a total of 12 damage, which actually kills that guy. That guy died. It's a good shot.
Nice.
Flo, your turn.
With my autogun, I'll shoot this guy full automatic.
Okay, so it's plus 20. That's a jam.
Cool.
I'd reroll it. You have 5 points, just because it's getting ridiculous. Like all.
It is ridiculous. I'm rerolling.
Welcome to my world.
I know. What did you do? I know what you did this weekend.
What?
You sacrificed a goat so like everyone would know your pain of like jamming your weapon. Jesus Christ.
It's not a jam, it's just a miss. Alright. Down to 1 fate point. This guy here tries to fire at Ficus.
Isn't he stunned?
No, this guy's not stunned. He's just he won't go anywhere near Zarkov, and he's at a -10 to everything he does.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's the next guy.
Yep. So he misses. This guy here runs away as far as he can. So he runs over there. Ficus, your turn.
Yeah, I'm probably going to shoot someone. What are these red marks with things? They're like vomiting or something.
Guys with the red marks have a -10 on everything they do, and they won't approach Mordecai. If they have the panic thing on them, they are frozen in fear or running away.
Can they still dodge while frozen in fear?
No.
Right, well, I'll get my shoot on.
Don't jam.
Senseless targets.
I'm going to go for Las Carbine. Are either of these two actually been hurt yet?
Nope.
I'll go for the top guy with my Las Carbine, and I'm going to roll ballistics.
What are you firing at us? Semi-auto or?
I think it was like burst or something.
Yeah, semi-auto burst.
Yeah.
Yeah, so +10.
And it's not like a half move or something. It's a full to do that, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So, how many hits can it do on a semi-auto? It's a Las Carbine, so it can do. Oh, you haven't put it in.
Sorry.
Let me go check. Las Carbines. Las Carbines can hit twice, so that's 2 hits.
I rolled damage twice.
Yep. There's no pen on Las Carbines, right? Yeah, no pen. Alright, so you hit him in the body. Yes, 3 on the body and 3. So 3 damage and 4 damage, so 7 damage.
Nice.
Mira, your turn.
I'm gonna drag the two that I'm standing here, with up here downwards.
Yep, go for it.
Here.
Planetary Enforcer, we'll try to snap out of it. And he doesn't, so he's still afraid. Shaking in his boots. Gabriel, your turn.
Yeah, I would like to draw my hell pistol instead of my hell gun.
Okay. You have quick draw?
I don't think
So it's
so.
a half action to draw the weapon and
Yeah.
stow the other one.
I can't shoot, right? Because
Well, you can move a half move. Or you can actually do a single shot as well, just with no aim or anything.
yeah, I'll do that on
What's the range on the Hell pistol? It's
the
probably
35.
Okay. So yeah, you can just hit them with no modifiers.
Yeah. I'll shoot the crazy guy down there.
On the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just flat. Nope, that's a miss. You can bump it over with a fate point if you want.
Nah, it's
But
alright.
he can't dodge, so...
Oh, yeah, then I do it.
It'd still be flat because of his bonus turn, or
He...
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh yeah, it's -10 actually, yeah, so it wouldn't... You'd have to reroll it, so... Do you want to reroll it?
No, I'll miss.
Okay. This guy's dead. Zarkov, your turn.
if I take off my fearful aura, will they still have the effects?
Yes.
Cool, taking it off then.
Until they snap out of it.
And I'm just gonna keep running in this direction until I hit the wall.
Okay. I like the way you're blind and you just fear bomb people till you walk into a wall.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's like a Roomba of fear.
Yeah. So
Roomba.
Victus,
I do carry cats around with me as well. Call it a drive-by fearing. Oh, that one. Okay.
your turn, George.
Would I have line of sight to any of these two?
Yeah, you have line of sight of both of them. You're just behind the corner and cover, so...
I'll shoot this one then.
Okay.
Half aim, half shoot.
Yeah, that's a hit. He can't dodge the guy at the bottom, so go ahead. And 2d10. And you hit him in the body. So yeah, he's dead. Pop. Flo, your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna try again. To full auto.
Okay, so plus 20.
Yeah.
Good luck.
It's like clamps.
Yeah, I should clamps. Actually, wait, no, I'm out of ammo, so I need to reload.
Alright, never mind then. So you reload.
Oh,
Lucky.
anticlimactic.
This planetary forcer is also out of ammo, so he reloads. This one here continues to try to break out. Fails, so he keeps running. Where he's going though, I'm not quite sure. He's gonna have to end up in a corner cowering.
Getting in our ship.
He takes the ship and runs. No, there's a pilot in there with the door locked, so Ficus, your turn. Ficus.
Would I be able to use my las pistol? I don't have any quick change abilities.
You could just draw it as a half action and then shoot it with no modifiers.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was trying to use it as a being able to use my half action for aiming. Screw it. I'll just keep las carbining. Same rolls.
Yep, so plus 10.
Oops.
It's a miss, you can reroll it if you want. You got one more fate point.
I know. I was wondering, we're continuing to do mission once we get in our ship, or is this the end of our mission?
Who knows?
Who knows? Right. Just in case, I'm going to keep it then.
Alright, Nero, your turn.
Yes, I'm taking the two that is on the right. If you can then.
Alright,
here.
yeah, you can move them. Alright, yeah, you can't move them. So, you can move them there, yeah.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna do.
Mirror the mother hen. Alright, so this planetary force is dead. Boone, your turn.
That's, so I can aim now, right?
Yeah, you can aim. So if you
Oh,
aim,
it's got semi-auto as well, hell pistol.
yeah, if it does, sure. So it's a +10 if you aim. If you semi-auto, it's a +20 if you aim, but you only get one shot.
Also have -10, don't forget.
Yeah, you have -10 though.
Oh yeah, so I aim then, so +10.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a hit. He tries to dodge. -10. And he fails, so roll damage. That kills him. Most definitely.
Nice.
Kill steal, kill steal.
So the encounter's over because the guy at the back is just going to cower in the corner, pissing his pants because he's afraid of Zarkov. So you guys have precious few minutes before more planetary defense forces.
I'll help haul some of these dudes.
I loot the body for grenades.
Yeah, don't have time, Phil. Just move the bodies on the ship.
All of these planetary enforcers have one blind grenade on them. So if you guys want to take the blind grenades, you can do that.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
I'll take one.
Or not blind grenades, photon flash, sorry.
Yeah.
Even better.
George shoots the last guy.
I whisper in the microbeer saying, "Can someone help me get back to the ship, please? I don't know quite where I am."
I can.
I'm not
I
going
walk-
anywhere near you.
I walk you into this wall twice and then walk into the ship.
Just smack him into the wall a bunch and then walk
Yeah,
on.
like I bump him into this thing as well.
Like
Gabriel.
a police officer. Oh, watch your head.
Can we get the last two moved?
Yeah, they're in there.
Those. Well,
Flow is
In the
inside
wall.
Do you guys lock them up or anything?
do we have any stasis chambers of our own?
You're no longer in the wall, so.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
No, there's no stasis chambers on the thing. You'll just have to lock them up or something.
I'll
Yeah,
attempt another deceive if that's possible.
You can attempt another deceive, yeah.
I ask if you want my assistance in this. Well, if we have a conversation about like what we're trying to do, then I offer my assistance.
I do like a nod to Zarkov and say I'm going to talk with our escorts, and I look at them like, do your thing.
Alright, I try to invocate beforehand. So I get it. Then I
Yes.
cast suggestion on the one George will be talking to.
Alright, we'll go ahead and cast.
Yeah, I only need to roll a 1. I get it. Oh shit, that should be a +4, sorry, so it goes off. And then I suggest to him that we are truly agents of House Columbia, is it?
Colony.
Colony, sorry. That work?
Alright, yeah, it'll work, so you can get a +30 on your test.
I talk the guy that I'm going to talk to. It's going to be the fattest one.
Okay.
It's a sign of wealth.
Alright, so they just sort of look you over and say, you don't look like any of our house guards, you must be mercenaries. Just get us out of here.
Sure thing.
They seem very cooperative, so.
I would pay off my services to guard them.
So you guys take off on the lighter, or at least you order the pilot to take off, yeah?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Alright, so the pilot very quickly takes off before any more planetary defense forces can turn up. And give me a second.
We didn't leave any evidence that the Inquisition was behind this, did we?
Don't think so.
A small piece of paper that said the Inquisition was behind this. Behind.
The Inquisition was here.
Yeah.
Who's a dildo now?
Okay, so you guys descend back up through the atmosphere of Ikabar, back to the light of Alantaris, your ship, with your quarry in throw, sorry. And the lighter docks, the clamps come in, and you guys have returned to the ship. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, what happens is a number of the Imperial Navy security forces under Interrogator Tyrus on the ship take the men and bring them to holding cells, who look very bemused about what the hell is going on exactly, because you promised you were mercenaries, so they, sort of look resigned and keep walking, but they look very confused. You, on the other hand, are sent back to your quarters for a number of months. Sorry, not a number of months, for a number of days to do what you want. So if anyone wants to make any acquisition tests of any kind now, to buy something from the planet below or get something on the ship, now would be the time to do it before we move on to the next part.
Could we perhaps get XP for what we just did?
Oh yeah, you would definitely get XP for what you did.
Yes.
So finding these guys, it's 100 for each one you kept alive, so 400 experience.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to spend your experience and stuff before we continue.
Definitely do.
Mm-hmm.
Got a shitload better at casting psychic powers.
Oh god.
Even more fear.
Yeah.
He really is, isn't he? He's going to go for like so much more fear.
Well, no, I now have 50 willpower, so.
Yeah, and if there's anything you guys particularly want to buy, now would be the time as well.
We're not getting like another set of rare things thanks to us having...
No, that was just my way of boosting
Okay.
you guys up to like
Thank you very
competent
much,
levels.
Warren.
There's one thing I would like to get is more ammunition for my bolt pistol.
Yeah, you can just you can just pick that up for free from the armory. They won't mind.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
get some charge packs or whatever for the hell.
So how
have a gun.
many
Or-
shells can I get from the armory?
They'll give you 3 clips.
3 clips, 24. And now up to 28 extra shells.
I guess they just recharge hell pistols and stuff, right?
Yeah,
I
they'll give you
suggest-
3 packs worth of charges.
I suggest buying more grenades just in case, everyone.
Well, I have no money, so...
Oh.
Just stop.
Oh, things are rare and stuff. I don't crack.
Remember the planet modifier?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just going to move you to the next screen while you guys decide. This will be some months on, or some days on, like maybe 5 or 6 days.
Warren?
Yep.
While we're on board the ship, are we basically using the availability of the ship?
No, you're using the availability of the planet.
Oh, okay.
Because it's
And
the
which
planet you're
one
over.
is this planet?
It's a hive world, so it has a population in excess of like
The
a trillion.
top tier. So, yeah.
Yeah, it has a population in excess of 1 trillion, so...
Yeah, trillion. So, someone's probably better at me than finding these things, because I'm rubbish at people liking me. I'd like to look for some plentiful availability fire bombs.
I thought that we ought to get, or is it like we don't have to roll for it?
You do have to roll for it because not everything will be on the ship. Like, they can give you enough ammo or anything you want. And you guys already took out some of their stores from the armory, so all the stuff you need to buy yourself, that's why they give you a wage, if you know what I mean.
What's it based on again?
It's an availability
Fellowship.
test. Yeah.
Who's got the best fellowship?
I'll do that for you. Let me just
I have 42.
do my skills first. So I...
Cool.
Yeah, everybody should upgrade their experience and so.
Yeah, I'll look at that now.
So just the narrative of the story of what happened when you guys got back. Those men were detained and you haven't seen or heard of them again for the 5 weeks you're back on the ship. Interrogator Tyrus gave you some downtime to recuperate from your mission. You know, he sent you to the Medicaid tech to get patched up. He, told you to enjoy what the ship has to offer, which is a bit more than the average naval ship, because this one's been repurposed for the Inquisition's purposes, so it's a bit more elaborate than most ships. It's got some fine dining rooms. You guys are given like moderate staterooms to stay in because you're acolytes, whereas like the rest of like the 80,000 people that work on this ship, because yep, that's how many people are on this ship. 80,000. Imperial ships are like small cities that fly through space, basically. Most of them are just worker dregs who like work in the furnaces and man the macro cannons and do all the laborious tasks that, you know, should be automated, but the Imperium doesn't know how to do automation anymore, so it just throws people at problems till they solve it. So yeah, the ship is like a massive city, but you guys stay mostly in the upper decks, which are like the staterooms and things like that. You like rarely ever go to like the Enginorium or the Astropathic Bay or anything like that. So, and you're given free reign to order anything you want from the planet through the Inquisition's channels.
Okay. What do you guys wanna buy?
Some plentiful flame grenades.
Yeah, it's anything that's plentiful or abundant is automatic on this world, so you don't even have to make the availability test.
I'll tell you buy a bunch of them then.
And you literally get it in about, you get it in about 5 minutes. So you don't even have to get it, you can just literally pick them up from the ship's armory, basically. But you have to pay for them, obviously.
Of course.
Going to get a good craftsmanship photovisor.
You got sick of being blinded?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, you should probably all get stuff that stops you getting blinded, because as you see, it can really rape you. So.
That's rare, so flat, I think.
Rare in this world is challenging, so it's flat, yeah.
I did not get it.
Yep, can't find a photo either. Anyway, like I said, in the couple days you guys have had downtime to do whatever you feel like doing, which is basically like how you do your training montages to improve or whatever. You have heard word that Tyrus has been constantly in the brig section of the ship, which is rather extensive because this ship also semi-functions as a prison ship for the Inquisition, as is his, his position within the Inquisition is as an interrogator, so he spends much of his time overseeing the interrogation of heretics and deviants to try and learn their secrets. And he keeps you marginally informed, and he tells you that 2 of the 4 men have died during his interrogations, but the other 2 are proving to be most useful, though they're giving him very little information, and not because they don't seem to be forthcoming or particularly loyal to the strange figure you're looking for, but because they simply don't know much about the man. But he has uncovered some interesting information he deigns to share with you eventually. And after about 6 days, he summons you down to his personal area inside the brig to talk to him, and you pass through several hundred of these cells where some people are kept in, abject filth and stuff, while others who are more agreeable to the Inquisition and tell a lot of information are given better quarters and things like that.
Would we heal up by the way around?
Yes, you would all be full HP again. Because the Medicaid deck would look after you.
Yeah.
Just don't go losing any arms or anything. Like, I can't remember who lost an arm in the first one, I think it was Phil.
I lost an arm.
Oh no, yeah, you did, your assassin lost an arm, yeah.
Okay, so I presume we go to the interrogator.
Yep, if anyone wants to buy anything or do anything in between that, just tell me, because I'll count it as your downtime thing.
I'm going to say buying 4 of those flame grenades.
Okay.
I asked someone to feed me, help me walk.
Feed you? Oh.
just imagine Zarkov in like a high chair thing now, getting like fed baby food or whatever.
Anyone offering?
Well, I could.
Thank you, Mira. Always liked you, you know. No, I knew your mother.
Right. So the interrogator summons you down to his private chambers, and all through here you can hear wailing of like the damned and the tortured and things like that. But you know his particular room is this one down here, and the guards like gave you free rein to enter, as all of these cages are electrified and force shielded as well, so nobody can hope to get out of them. And most of them are also dampened against psychic powers. So yeah, Zarkov, while you're in here, you can feel the presence of various psi emitters, which basically dampen psi powers considerably.
Oh, okay.
As a great deal of the people in here are also chained and consistently drugged because they're rogue psychers, among other things.
Would I find it like nauseating? Like, would I not want to be in there as long as I want? Like,
well, the room. The best way to describe it is the room feels very. It's like almost soulless to you, if you know what I mean.
Alright.
So, like, it's not a pleasant place for anyone at any time, but for you, it's like doubly disturbing.
Alright.
Right. So, I mean, you have to go in and see the Inquisitors, whoever wants to head in first.
Just waiting for the cleric to go in.
Okay, was checking an item. Yeah, so we all go to the interrogator and we greet him.
Alright, well, you can enter the room. So, as you enter the room, you find him beside a rather large bloody patch of torture implements, and it seems like he's cleaning them and sort of going over some thoughts in his head. Where the hell's Boone? Who's up there?
Is Bira back?
Yeah. So he seems to be like thinking things over in his head, and he sort of absent-mindedly turns around to you and looks you over and says, "You've done very well, Acolytes, in our short time in this system and your time on Ikabar. We've uncovered a great deal of information, more than most of the other groups operating on the planet have in quite some time. And it seems a great many of our fears have been confirmed. There is much going on in this world that is hidden in shadows that needs to be uncovered. However, I would rather not discuss it in the dreariness of this place." And he puts down one of his torture implements and sort of shrugs as like blood drips onto the floor. He starts to clean himself up with a rag, and he says, "If you would join me tonight inside my private dining room, there are a number of individuals I believe you need to meet, and I will reveal to you the true nature of the threat on this world to the Imperium of Man. Dinner will be promptly at 8 o'clock Terran time. Please do not be late, and do not tarry." And with that, he just leaves. Before he leaves, he says, "If you feel the need to explore any of these dungeons, do try to remember everyone within here is dangerous, much more than they look. Do not give them your sympathy, they do not deserve it." And then he leaves. So you guys can look around the dungeons a bit if you want to, otherwise you can just head towards dinner later tonight.
Ask me to get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So Mira and Zarkov just leave, I guess.
No, Zarkov, your quarters will be here. Joking.
Is there someone in this cage?
Yep.
Yeah, there's someone in the corner there.
Oh. Can I speak to him?
There. Yeah, when you go up to him, he's just in the corner wailing, like sobbing uncontrollably into his hands. So you can say something to him if you want to.
Oh, don't cry. It'll be fine. No. Why are you in this cage?
So you're just asking him what did he do?
Yeah.
And he just turns to you with sort of bleary-eyed eyes and he says, I saw a creature, something horrific, horrible. It bore the visage of a woman, but horribly disproportioned and with flies, and oh god, it was horrible. They picked me up when they arrived on this world. I had been a prisoner months beforehand, just because of what I saw. They won't release me. Oh god, the horror of it. How can such things be real? How can man stand against it? And he just sort of goes back to weeping again.
I've seen terrible things too on my last mission. See ya.
He just sort of continues to weep, so...
By any chance, did he see a demon host by the name of Leafy?
I think that's probably what he was referring to.
Yeah.
Who knows? So this man in the room that Flo is looking at is just babbling in some sort of language you can't understand, and he's shaking back and forth on top of the sort of crap hay that is his room. He's been beaten bloody a number of times, as you can see, and it looks like he's been here a very, very long time, and he may be one of the very many forgotten prisoners on this ship. And he's just constantly babbling back and forth. He's gaunt, like almost down to the bones, as if he's been starved repeatedly. But you can see there's food in the corner of his room that's rotted. So it's clearly he's just not eating, and he's just shaking back and forth, babbling.
Flo turns to the group and says, "Friends, don't do drugs."
That is true.
Yeah.
Could I peek through the lock of this door?
Yeah, you can peek through. There's actually like a small window at the top of it.
Okay, I'll look
So,
at that.
inside, besides the dungeon, you see a finely sort of wrought room, and you can clearly see a woman, who is of noble birth in some way, and she's writing various scripts on top of a table in front of her. There also appears to be a severed head on the table, and every now and then she sort of very slightly caresses the head as if it was like a lover or something, and then goes back to writing again, and she seems to be talking to herself. But the room is quite well furnished.
Me being from a Forge world, seeing that person's noble, I say, "Victus, come, look, maybe you'll find some reason to talk to this person. I'm too lowly."
I look through the window thing. Do I see anything in particular that would focus my attention?
Well, you can clearly see that the interrogator has given this woman several liberties, probably because she's cooperating with the Inquisition to some degree, and because of her noble birth. She's got a lot of things the other prisoners couldn't even dream of, such as an actual like Xeno rug on the ground, which appears to be some kind of earth-sign creature from another world. Various other things like there's even perfume cases on various things, and it would seem like a finely wrought stateroom of a noble quarter of a hive, except for the fact that it's clearly a dungeon, and the woman inside it is quite mad, because there's literally like the desiccated head of an old man on her table, and every now and then she gingerly runs her fingers through his like rotting hair, and then goes back to writing whatever crazy shit she is.
I turn to Faka and say she might be noble of birth, but her soul is not noble anymore.
If that is what you think, then either we leave her, or maybe she knows something about what we're here to do. I don't know.
You can tell she's been here for a while, so she probably has nothing to do with the particular case you're
Okay.
doing. So these are just interesting side things you can look at. So I guess you guys go to dinner later?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yep.
go in my finest noble rags.
Okay, so a few hours later, you guys head towards the upper staterooms of the Light of Alantaris. An entire deck has basically been given over to the interrogator and his command staff, as well as his closest cadre. You guys are 2 decks just below him, along with a bunch of other acolytes and other members of the Inquisition who you almost never speak to. When you arrive, you find Tyrus, as well as Almala, his adept, and Seneschal in the room, already discussing with 2 other men, and he indicates for you to take a seat. After a while, several servitors come around and place a great deal of food on the table. Most of it is like easily, the kind of things nobility or, very high up people on worlds would eat, and he indicates you should all eat your fill, whatever you want to eat. And as he's talking and drinking wine, he introduces you to the two other men at the table. He says the man to his right is Gaius Benetech, of House Benetech, and you can clearly see that this man is a navigator. He has the navigator mutant gene. He has a third eye in his head, which is constantly closed, and he's used for navigation through the warp. And you can tell he's the head navigator of the Light of Tyrus. Also is a very grizzled and sort of old man. He gives you the look of a feral worlder gone civilized at the other end of the table, who he introduced as Malagus the Keeper, who is in charge of the various Acolyte groups currently working on Ixabar. And you can see there's something of a tension between Malagus and Tyrus, as both of them are high up in their Inquisitor's cadre, and they actually know who Silence Beckons is, but they clearly do not like each other, or do not respect each other, whereas Tyrus is clearly of noble birth, and very arrogant because of it. Malagus is very down to earth and sort of stoic, and they clearly do not get along. So as they're talking, and you're talking about what you saw in the dungeons and various other mundane things going on, very ridiculous posh things that nobility go on about, eventually Tyrus turns to the matter at hand and he says, so we should probably discuss about the reason why you have been brought here. No doubt you have heard I have spent a great many days interrogating the men you recovered from the Arbiters, and it seems our suspicions, Benetech, have been confirmed, and that Silence Beckons was indeed right to send me and my cadre here after Malagus' failure to handle the situation. And Malagus just sort of looks at him sternly and says nothing. As you may or may not have known or heard rumors of Acolytes, the light of the Astronomicon in the Ixaniad Sector has been dimming for quite some time now, and this is of grave concern to all involved. The light of the Astronomicon is the psychic will of the Emperor made manifest in the warp. Without its guiding light, navigation through the warp is next to impossible. And the fact that something powerful enough in this sector is in some way obscuring or slowly dimming it is of grave concern. The only other time in recorded history when something of similar events has happened is close to the Eye of Terror. Navigation within the Eye is impossible as the warp storms dim and obscure the Astronomicon. But the fact that something similar is happening here without any obvious signs of the great enemy, chaos, interfering in any way is of grave concern indeed. The strange figure, we should speak of him now. Little has been able to be recovered from him except from the picked recording that Malagust's acolytes, before they died, recovered from one crime lord known as Salonius. We know precious little about this man, save a name we managed to rip from the throats of those we interrogated before they passed on, and we finally have a name to give this figure. He simply has dealt with him under the name of Karrack. Other than that, we know he is somehow involved in the growing darkness that surrounds the Ixaniad Sector. We have deemed this man of paramount importance, as the dimming of the Astronomicon light is perhaps one of the greatest known threats to the Imperium since the Horus Heresy 10,000 years ago. If the light of He on Terra is lost, the entire sector will fall into anarchy, destruction, ruination, or worse in time. Not only that, but that anything could or dare to obscure the will of the Emperor made manifest is the greatest of heresies. This is why the light of Tyrus has come to this world. We must uncover what is happening in the Ixaniad Sector, and it is centered on Ixabar, that we know. Benetech here is in charge of the navigators upon this ship, and he likewise, since we have arrived in this sector, has felt the dimming of the Astronomicon, and a great many of the astropathic choirs and many more are finding that communication in this sector is becoming very difficult. Whatever is causing this obscuration of the Astronomicon must be found, and it must be eliminated. I know that this may shock a great many of you that the Emperor's will could be challenged in such a way, but whatever is occurring here is deeply disturbing, to say the least. We've uncovered precious little else about Karrack, who I'm actually going to update now. So, he should be updated now. So you now know this guy at least goes by the name of Karrack. So, what else did he find out? We found out precious little else about the man. He was basically under the protection of House Colony, as he was giving them various lucrative trade deals with a great many other worlds inside the Ixaniad Sector. How he managed to pull off this without any sort of trail or real information about him is disturbing, to say the least. That the Inquisition can find so little about this man bodes very ill, to say the least. What we have uncovered is equally disturbing, to say the least. We know he has various rogue traders under his employ. He has various other trade guilds of various other hive worlds working for him. And he seems to have even infiltrated many of the Imperial Guard and Arbiters, among other things. The fact his influence spreads so far and wide is a great threat to us, to say the least. So the only thing we have been able to discover that may lead on to how we can apprehend this man is that he has been cited a great many times on the world of, let me see, the name, sorry, has come up a great many times on the world of, what was the world you were going to go to? Yes, sorry, he has been found in the Thaddia system, or the Thaddia system, sorry, which is a great deal away from here in the Thaddian subsector. Specifically, he has been found on Thaddia Primaris. It is a civilized world. It was colonized 8 millennia ago at the founding of the Ixaniad Sector, after the Ixaniad Crusade. And what he's doing on this world is anyone's guess, but the last reported knowledge we have of him pinpoints to this world. Unfortunately, we are a great many days away from Thaddia Prime. It will take maybe a month's journey to reach there, and with the dimming of the Astronomicon, it could take a great deal longer. So I have ordered the Light of Alantaris to proceed to Thaddia Primaris at full speed as soon as possible. We have already left orbit. You may have noticed if you had if you've checked in the bridge or looked out of any of the viewports lately. We're making full burn to the edge of the Ikabar system, and we should be able to translate into the warp within 3 days. So if you have any final business here or anything else you wish to acquire on this world, now would be the time to do it before we enter the Imperium and reach Thaddia. We do know that we have a contact on that world that we will have to inquire with to find a lead with him. The man we are looking for on the world is an Imperial Guard captain by the name, or an Imperial Guard colonel, sorry, by the name of, let me find him. His name is Demetrius. Yeah, Colonel Demetrius is the man we are meeting on Thaddia Prime. Thaddia Prime is in the midst of a semi-brutal civil war in which a number of sub-factions of the nobility of the world have risen to challenge one another for the primary seat of governorship of the world. This has vexed the Imperium greatly, and the Imperial Guard has been dispatched to re-establish order, as any threat to the giving of the Imperial title from the world cannot be tolerated, as it is needed to maintain the Imperium as a whole. Thus, a rather small fleet of 16 Imperial naval ships is currently in orbit, with a pacification regiment in tow, and however they are not having much success, as the nobility has almost risen in outright rebellion against the Imperium. So you will be essentially stepping into a war zone to try and find Karrack. Is there any questions in particular you have? as we have a month of transition through the warp before we arrive.
The Imperial Guard captain we're going to see, does he know we are Inquisition? Or
Dimitris has been fully briefed on our arrival there, and I have chosen you, with your recent success, to be my will upon the planet, and you will have my full support as a acolyte of Silence Beckons in this matter. So the Inquisition's full weight has been put behind this. So
we can throw the name around.
Yeah, you can throw the name around.
Cool.
This is not going to be a Mirror Shades one, to say the least. You can use your authority liberally, basically.
I mean, you know how Mordecai is blind?
Yep.
The last psyker that looked at the picture of the guy didn't learn anything about him. Well, if there's anything else that could potentially be learned from, like, psychic-based things, could I, like, describe the picture to Mordecai, or...?
Oh, you guys already saw, like, the video feed thing, because Malagust gave it to this guy.
But, I mean, like,
ago, so.
do I need to do anything special to, like, help Mordecai actually know what's going on, and maybe he can roll something? Or is there no real need for us to, like, potentially look into this guy some more? There's
no real need. This is literally all the Inquisition knows about this guy. They know he's a power broker of some kind, and that he has influences on, like, at least a dozen worlds around the Ixaniad Sector. And it seems that he'd already departed Ikabar several months before your guys even started the campaign, and that you were just basically, like, trying to catch up with him. But, as I said, the main point of this campaign, and the biggest crux about why the Inquisition is here, is that for some reason the Light of the Astronomicon, which is basically the psychic beacon on Terra of the Emperor, which, you know, navigators use as, like, a, you know, reference in space to move around, is basically being obscured in this entire sector, and something with the psychic will to be able to do that must be immensely powerful indeed, because it takes like full-on warp storms to be able to do things like that. So whatever is starting to block the Astronomicon is like a grave threat, because this entire sector will be plunged into chaos.
And that seems to be emanating from this planet we're going to be going towards.
No, it just seems to be emanating over the entire sector. So, like, the light everywhere inside the Ixaniad Sector is getting harder and harder to navigate. It's getting harder and harder to communicate through astropathic choirs between worlds, as, you know, static is essentially building up, and it's getting harder to do everything. So eventually, it's presumed, basically, the guy in front of you, Benetek, basically informs you that by his calculations and by, you know, an agreement with the astropathic choirs and various other members on Ikabar and other worlds around the Ixaniad Sector, that within roughly 2 years the light of the Astronomicon will be so obscured that warp navigation will be next to impossible. So the troop transports, food transports, trade between worlds will pretty much completely cease. Entire hive worlds will fall into anarchy and starvation. Planets will fall to chaos left, right, and center, and the whole place will be fucked, basically. So this is why you guys are here, and this man is known to be deeply entrenched in it. How the Inquisition knows this, you haven't been told. It's on a need-to-know basis, essentially, but they already know that this man is deeply involved somehow, but they knew very little about the man, so they want you to find him.
Do we have any information to where he might be found, or anyone that might know of his location?
Well, that's why you're going to meet with Colonel, let me get his name.
Demetrius, you said, right, or something?
Demetrius, or whatever his name is.
Right,
yeah, that's it. Colonel Demetrius. He's in charge of an Imperial Guard regiment on Thaddia Primaris. I'll actually take you to the map so you guys can see it.
Of course, I know he's like an Imperial Guard dude, but I mean, do we know he's definitely to be trusted?
He's shown repeatedly that he's loyal to the Imperium, so... this is where you're going to be going, over here.
Yeah, that's it.
So you'll be traveling from Ikabar to Thaddia Primaris, the Thaddia system. Okay?
Before we go, I want to do one more like test to try and buy something. But I mean, like, if anyone else has got questions, do that before I'd say.
Well, the reason I'm doing this is because this is actually going to be a short thing today, because I have some other stuff to do. So we're only probably going to play for about 2 hours or so. So any acquisition tests you guys want to finish up before we stop for today, because I need to build that world. But I have a lot of it built already, but there's a lot of things I need to finish. So you'll be looking for him. Basically, like, the crux of the next mission is you're going into the middle of a civil war between nobles and the Imperium, who are trying to pacify the world. and you'll be basically looking for this man in the middle of all the chaos. And the reason you're going here is because the Inquisition sent out feelers through Astropedic wires all over the sector, and the last reported sighting of this man or his name being dropped anywhere was on Thaddia Prime only 2 weeks ago.
So basically, the nobles are rebelling from the Imperium, right?
They're not rebelling directly. It started off as a dispute about who the governor of the world would be. The noble houses broke into open civil war between each other, and when the Imperium arrived to pacify the planet, they ordered the noble houses to stand down. About half of them did, the other half refused, and broke into outright rebellion.
I ask if they know any good contacts on the noble houses that did not pacified when the Imperium came.
Yeah, there's going to be a number of noble houses that will aid you when you get there, but you'll need to talk to Colonel Demetrius when you get there.
No.
Okay.
Is a hive world?
No, it's not a hive world, it's an imperial world, so it's kind of like how Earth is now, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
It's just like a civilized world. It's like a grimdark sci-fi Earth, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
it's only got a population of about what was it, 6 billion? So like it's nothing. It's nothing in comparison to like the 1 trillion of Ixabar. So. Like the entire population of Thaddia Prime could be put into one hive complex inside Ixabar. So
Nice. Is scarce easy to find on this planet as well? I mean, the planet we're just about to leave.
Ixabar, scarce makes it ordinary. So
So
it's a +10 test to find anything.
Somebody try and do that. I need to pick up a long las.
+10?
Yeah.
Yep, if anyone else wants to buy anything now, I recommend you do it now, because it's going to be a lot harder to find things on Thaddia Primaris than it is on Ixabar. So, and you might not return to Ixabar for some time.
All I can say is that I'm broke as fuck. I have 0 from guild.
I have some money, but like...
No, I don't need anything.
Well, you will get a month's pay in the time it takes you to get to Thaddia Prime, but right now you don't have anything extra, so...
what do I have to roll if I wanted to do this? It's just inquiry.
It's an inquiry test, yeah, to look for gear.
So bad, it's never going to happen.
Yeah, you guys now have an idea of what you're doing here, and why you're in the sector. And yeah, anything that can like dim the Emperor's psychic will has to be very strong.
So this is literally the last thing we're doing today.
Yeah, because I have a bunch of stuff I need to do in real life, but we will be playing Death Watch later.
Inquiry tests, like
For 4
something
hours.
you can re-roll with.
Yeah, with fate points. So if you guys have any fate points left, you can do it.
Do you have any, George?
No, he doesn't.
But well,
You,
I have one.
the only way to spend fate points like at the end of other than regaining HP or reroll
No,
tests?
because there's no cohesion on this. So you should use fate points a bit more liberally in this than you do Death Watch.
Yeah, okay.
Does anyone else have a
It's
good
gonna be-
inquiry?
Yeah, I can roll it.
I can try. I've got 2 fate points to pop it up. Boy.
Was it +10?
Yeah, because it's ordinary. You could knock that over and get it.
Great.
With a fate
I'm
point.
doing that.
Thank you very much.
It's a good thing I saved one fate
yeah.
point then.
Oh yeah.
Actually get some penetration with this gun. Ladies.
Okay, so while you're doing that, after 3 days, the light of Alan-Taurus reaches the edge of the Ixabar system and then translates into the Imperium of the Warp and makes a direct beeline along the path to Magalhaline, Rosalind, Persica, straight to the Thaddia Primaris system. And it takes, as I said, about a month to travel. While you're traveling, though, a number of interesting things happen on the ship. All of you are racked with nightmarish visions every time you sleep, so everybody make a willpower test. And it is a psychic thing, so if you have a psychic resistance, you gain the bonus.
Resistant psychic powers, or?
Yes.
Alright,
Well, thank God I got that as an upgrade.
Oh yeah.
So it's just flat if it's...
It's just flat if you don't have any psychic resistance.
Okay, yeah, psychic resistance is plus 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I get anything for being a psycho and used to this fucking shit?
No. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's everybody. Okay, so all of you are racked with strange dreams of of visages of basically like all your visions are like dark and sort of blurry, where you're like walking through a hellish landscape, and at the edge of your periphery you can see dark shapes, horrible, horrific shapes that sort of wheel around you and cackle madly. Every night, like you're basically all suffering from insomnia at this stage because a lot of you don't want to sleep, and all throughout the ship, other people are reporting visages of these things. Zarkov, you know that sometimes while you're traveling to the Imperium, the Gallerfields can get weak, and like visages of demons can enter people's minds. So this is what you presume is happening.
Yeah.
Well, you've seen this kind of thing before, but
No,
this
it's
is
not right.
no, there's no way to stop it. But this is a lot more vivid, and it's very disconcerting to say the least. It's as if you know, the demons are on the very edge of all of your like periphery vision, and every time you twirl around in your eyes, like while you're dreaming, they seem to run away, if you know what I mean, or hide in the shadows.
Do we have any status pods on the ship?
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
I just request to stay in one then.
Yeah, you can do that. Bermuda, you gain 1 insanity because like they start to drive you a bit insane. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So that puts me at 10 insanity then.
Ooh, interesting.
Just checking. That's not, you're not going to get anything due to the fact you've got what's it called?
Oh yeah,
Jaded.
but that's only against non-supernatural things.
You could re-roll it with your last fate point, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could re-roll the willpower if you want to. Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so
you won't need the fate point. But...
I'll roll poorly again if I spend it, so it doesn't matter.
Let's do the insanity thing then. So, 1 to 10, you gain a mental trauma. So, roll 1d100 plus, what was your failure? 5. So 1d100 plus 50 for me. Okay, so 100. The character is constantly fearful, seeing danger everywhere, and is extremely jumpy. The character gains plus 10 bonus to all perception-based tests.
Woo!
And a minus 10 to all his willpower for the next 1d5 days. So.
Oh.
So for 4 days on the ship, Flo is like super paranoid and jumpy, and like avoids everybody. Okay. So besides that, like nothing really is going to happen for the rest of this session. So if there's anything else you guys want to buy or any questions, now would be the time to field them because I have some stuff to do before tonight. Had to be a short session today, unfortunately.
Yeah. For now, and I'm not seeing any item I would like to buy, but later on, if I can make inquiry tests for those.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, if anyone wants to like do a shopping list, we can do it next time. But what you need to know about the Thaddia system is it consists of 2 worlds: Thaddia Primaris, which is a civilized world, kind of like Earth, like I said. It's basically an imperial world, essentially. The other one is a agri world, which is Thaddia Secundus. It is a small world. It only has a population of a couple million, and it's mostly a giant industrial farm world. Basically overruled by like a minor governor, and it has a rather large mechanicus group who basically are conducting experiments on the world. About how to grow high protein strain crops, basically. So basically it's a giant farm world. It's not super interesting. It's got an oddly large group of mechanicus who are generally not interested in such things, but they're trying to grow a very fast growing strain of protein paste, essentially. And that's what they're doing on the world. Any other questions about anything?
Would the information about the psychers on the main planet be available?
Thaddia Primaris?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can look up any information known about it. So, let's find out. It, like all worlds, donates psychers to the black ships who send them to Terra. Some of them get fed to the Astronomicon, others become psychers like yourself, sanctioned psychers. On the world, however, there has been noted, and this is something of interest to you guys, and you in particular, Zarkov, that Thaddia Primaris has been known to produce an odd number of psychers compared to other worlds. More people per thousand, or per million, sorry, turn into psychers on that world than other worlds.
Yeah.
So it tends to produce more psychers, which is a hint that the warp bleeds more into that world than other worlds, which might be an indication of as to why Karrack has gone to that world.
When psychers are assigned to like worlds, is that all like noted down by the
Oh yes. Administratum and the Psychers and the Inquisition all keep a really heavy check on Psychers and where they go. So there are a number of Psychers in the world. It has various astropathic choirs like every other world, so it can speak to the Imperium as a whole. It has a small navigator house that basically works on the planet, like pretty much every other world. It has a few Primaris Psychers, which are just generic Psychers who do various things. It has all the usual Psychers you would think about. It has been known every few generations to produce a rogue Psyker who tends to rise in rebellion and rises a little sort of heresy against it. Thaddia Primaris has had a few dark tales in its history. It has rose in rebellion against the Imperium several times, and it seems to be a constant thorn in the Imperium side. It can, like every couple of centuries or millennia, it seems to rise in rebellion for unexplained reasons. Like, as I said before, it's very suspicious what's going on in the world right now. It arose from a minor political dispute that is usually solved without much difficulty on most worlds into a civil war that broke into outright rebellion, which most worlds, especially small worlds like Thaddia Primaris, which only have a couple million or a couple billion people on like a small force, wouldn't even dare to do, because the Imperium would just show up and like severely sanction them for doing so. So the fact that they've outright broken into rebellion for little other reason than what was apparently a minor dispute is very strange.
So, I guess I will look in, like, do we know the names of houses that we rebelled, or not quite?
You'll have to get there to find out, because right now information is sketchy at best throughout the entirety of the Ixaniad Sector because of the dimming of the Astronomicon. So information is like hard and takes longer to come to. So
if I can, like actually going in that stasis pod, I will just try and look up everything I can about every psyker assigned to each of the nobles' houses. Like anyone who's close to any nobles in any way.
Okay, well, I'll get back to you with that next week. Okay. Cool. You do know that the man you're looking for, Karrack, has given off signs that he is a psyker. So
yeah.
He could be masquerading as one of the psychers of one of the rebel houses, perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah, I just look up everything. Yeah.
By the way, Warren, have you seen the vendetta trait of the noble homeworld?
Have I what, sorry?
Players that have a noble homeworld have a vendetta talent or trait, I don't know which one, but it's like it says that there is a noble, there is a third party that wants to kill me, basically, because I'm a noble.
Oh yeah, like nobles have enemies. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is, you could actually like literally write that into your backstory as to why you joined the Inquisition to get away from it or something.
Basically, yeah. The background story says that there is a house that it's envious of us.
Okay. So if no one has any other questions, like I said, I have to stop a bit earlier this week because I have stuff to do. So, but you guys will show for that watch, yes? No one's going to miss that.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are reaching a very critical point at the end of that mission.
Oh yeah.
You guys are on which part?
They're in Vanity. They're looking for the orb thing, if you remember.
We're about to blow up a motherfucking spaceship. That helps.
Yeah. Alright, well, anyway, that's it for this week. So.
Thank you, Warren.
Cheers, Warren. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, good game.
Yeah.
And thank all of our viewers for watching. Catch you for Death Watch.
Cheers.
Don't miss it. It's gonna be great.